Welcome back everyone. Today I will recap episode 2 of the 2019 French horror streaming television series named Marianne. Before we start, it is a request to please like and comment on the video as it will help us to grow our reach. Episode 2 begins with Camille coming downstairs looking for Emma, but she doesn't find her anywhere. The alarm of the house then automatically shuts off and the next moment the phone starts ringing. And we see a hand shadow as Camille walks forward. She picks up the phone and finds that the call is from Home Security Service and they ask her if was there a break-in. To which she says no. They ask her if she is alone in the house and if is she feeling safe. Camille says she is not sure, to which the security guy says they will call the police and he will stay on until they arrive, and he asks her to go and lock the doors of the house. She fearfully moves towards the door to close it, and after closing it tells the security guy that she has closed it. The guy then asks her to turn around to check the living room. She turns and tells him that there is no one there, but the guy asks her to look carefully, and when she begins looking around, the guy says he is right there in the corner. Camille gets terrified seeing Mrs. Dodgerin standing at a corner, and only then Emma knocks on the door, causing Camille to fall down in fear. The next day, they were discussing last night's incident, and Emma felt that Mrs. Dodgerin must have given some drugs to her parents, due to which they did this act. Inspector Ronan then visits them, and he tells them that he works in town, but when he heard that Emma Larseman was in trouble, he came right over. She asks him if he is going to search the Dodgerins' house for clues, as she threatened her parents and drugged them. Ronan says threatening is not a crime and her parents walked into the woods of their own accord. He then notices the witch charm on the door, and while he is checking it, Emma asks Camille didn't they take that down yesterday. Now after collecting the charm in an evidence bag, he asks Emma if she will sign his books. Emma says she will do it and will write a personal note if he questions Dodgerin. He agrees and tells her to stay safely inside her house while he locates her parents. Later, we see Mrs. Dodgerin going somewhere and Emma and Camille hide in their car nearby, keeping an eye on her. Emma then breaks into her house where she notices her book with strange language written in it. She also finds her junior high group's photo, and during this, the page of her book turns. Emma notices a reflection of a female shadow on the photo frame moving toward her, but as she turns, there is no one there. She then let Camille in, and Camille asks her did she found something odd. Emma shows her a door that is locked, and when they try to open it, they hear some sounds from inside. Emma tries to peek in and tells her that there is something moving inside. Suddenly someone bangs on the door, causing them to get scared, and they see the doorknob moving. They decide to break the door down, but only then Mrs. Dodgerin asks them if they want a key and look inside. There is nothing but only her cats and her teeth. Emma asks her where are her parents, to which she says in the shadows rotting with their teeth chattering. She then smiles and says she will go freshen up, and Camille asks Emma what do they do now. Only then someone begins banging on that door, and Mrs. Dodgerin says there are 2 cats on her floor. Emma notices a knife in her hand and asks her what she is doing. Mrs. Dodgerin cuts her own arm saying what people will think when they find out that she broke into her house just to hurt her. Emma asks her to stop it, to which she says she will if she writes Lizzie and Marianne once more, and then everything will be fine for her parents, and for herself. They begin running away from there, and Mrs. Dodgerin says if she refuses, she will come back to see her, and after they leave, we see Mrs. Dodgerin's eyes shining. Meanwhile, Ronan visits his friend Pat and shows him that charm. Pat gets terrified seeing it and asks him where is it from. Ronan asks him if he knows what is it, to which he says it's a witchcraft and this is dangerous. It's a marker and it makes you vulnerable to evil spells. He asks him to take it out of his shop, and while Ronan leaving there with that charm, Pat tells him that whoever is connected to this stuff is cursed. On the other hand, Emma goes to her childhood spot where she gets surprised to see her high school friend Aurora. She asks her if she is still mad at her for the lighthouse, to which Aurora says that the kid's mistake 15 years ago. Emma asks her are the others still around, to which Aurora says they all will be there at Caroline's funeral and asks her if she is coming. Emma says she can't as she has to see her parents, and then Aurora leaves there. Later that night, we learn that Emma and Camille are staying there for 1 more week, and while Camille was talking to her clients on the phone, Emma notices that she is suddenly gone. The lights of the living room then go off, due to which she gets scared, and only then a few teeth with hair drops in her glass. Emma thinks she is dreaming and everything is fine, but only then she hears her dad calling her name. She then sees her mom and dad there requesting her to write, or she will inflict pain. They then point towards a side, and Emma finds the witch there standing at a corner asking her to write, to which Emma says she can't as she killed Lizzie. The witch then moves towards her, and Emma bumps into her dad who tells her to write, and the glass from her hand falls into a sinkhole. The scene changes and Emma tries to look into that sinkhole, where she finds Mrs. Dodgerin looking at her from inside it, and she says she came just for her, and then she stabs a knife in her eye. The next day, Emma confronts Mrs. Dodgerin and tells her to give her parents back, to which she says she is coming with her to the reunion. She then brings her to the church, where Father Xavier tells Mrs. Dodgerin that she was not there, so they did the lights ritual. Emma there sees her high school gang, Aurore, Sebi, Tonio, and Arnaud. Mrs. Dodgerin takes her to Caroline, and when Emma turns, she finds that people in the church are vanished except her friends. Mrs. Dodgerin asks her if she spit in her eye, does she think they will notice, and the people appear back there again. She then spits on her forehead, seeing that Emma turns back and leaves the church. Later, we see her with her gang, and while Emma is talking to Aurore, all the boys are chatting with Camille, and Arnaud tells her Emma was wild when she was young. He sends her the scathing infamous school article Emma wrote about her mother when she was 15. And as Emma notices it, she forbid Camille to read that, saying she is her boss. However, later that evening, Camille reads that article in which she had badmouthed her mother. After a while, Emma also returns home drunk and tells her that she is going to bed. Now while she is leaving, Camille asks her why did she write that. Emma says she told her she would not read it, calls her a liar, and then leaves there. She goes to her room, and thinking about her mom and dad, she begins writing a new chapter called Renaissance. As she writes, we see Mrs. Dodgerin in her house levitating in the air, and Emma's mother is shown walking through town naked and disoriented with symbols carved on her body. And the episode ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.